Hello viewer, this truck is 2021 Toyota Tacoma. Being living in Canada in the Canadian winter, I decided to remove all the wheel and do the rust protection on all suspension, brake rotor, caliper, and frame. And now it's been 4 years. I'm going to remove all the wheel and then take a look at the brake and check the frame to see how it's holding up so far. First, we're looking at the front brakes of this car. So the truck has about 50,000 kilometers, and I can see some little surface rust here. The truck is well undercoated with fluid film every year before the winter. Okay, let's remove the brake pad and the caliper to get access to the rusty rotor. To remove the brake, simply remove the 2-pin, and the pad should slide right off from the top. You need to remove this bolt that's holding the brake line onto the steering knuckle before you can remove the caliper. Next, there's two 17mm bolts in the back, and remove that and you can slide the caliper off the steering knuckle. The rotor slide right off the hub, and you can see it's pretty rusty inside the rotor, so I have to spend a little bit of time cleaning it all up and now repaint it. I spray 3 coats of trim glass glossy black paint. Now that my brake rotor had been all clean, painted, I turn my attention to the brake caliper and paint that as well with aluminum paint. Next, I remove the fender splash shield and notice that this brake line junction is badly corroded, so it needs attention as well. If this side is corroded, I'm sure the other side will be the same, so I'm going to be cleaning on both sides and repaint it with rust protected paint. Here is the brake line on the driver's side. Behind the plastic, the junction also corroded. Now I am cleaning all the junction and ready to put some rust paint, protective rust paint on the brake line junction and the fitting. Now I'm ready to put everything back together. Start with the rotor back onto the hub, and then the brake pad, brake caliper, and finally the wheel. Doesn't look just like new. Look at that. Okay, now I'm working on the rear drum brake. I'm going to remove the wheel and access the drum brake. Now, if you notice it years ago, when I removed the rear drum brake, there was a piece of paper in between the drum and the hub, and I removed that. Some viewers say that I should not remove that and keep it there because I'm going to have a hard time removing the drum later on. There it is, the brakes, 50,000 kilometers, brake dust, no rust. I'm going to clean all that up. It came out pretty easy. There was a piece of paper here from the factory. I remove it as I believe it's gonna stick to the drum, but it didn't. The paper is gone. I put a little bit of anti-seize on the surface. Drum came out nice and easy. You should need to put the bolt, a jack bolt. There you go. Slowly push it out. It came out nice and easy. Now I'm going to remove the brake dust and clean it all up. With the brake dust all clean, I'm turning my attention to the drum, clean up the surface rust and apply some black trim glass paint. And I put on about 3 coats of it with 5 minutes in between coat. Now I'm checking my leaf suspension, and there's some little bit of surface rust at the edge and the U-bolt. I'm cleaning that all up and repaint it as well. Well, that's all, folks. I put everything back together. So it's 4 years old with a little bit of surface rust on the drum and rusted on the brake rotor, a bit of rust on the leaf spring and the U-bolt, and the brake line junction behind the splash shield, which I didn't know about that. Now I'm going to keep an eye on that. Beside that, it is a clean truck without any rust, 4 years old. Thank you for watching.